Hey, I'm Christopher Yule, and if your stocks are kind of testing your nerves these days, trust me, I totally get it. Right now, we're seeing a lot of greed in the market and not so much fear, and that overabundance of greed could be causing your stocks to just not act the way that you want them to. So, if you are interested in learning more about the fear and greed in the market, welcome to the invitation only live stream for the Outlier Trading Room. Now, let's talk about the market, right? Let's talk about the S&P 500. One of the things that we have found is that when the S&P 500 is super greedy, over 70 on our fear and greed scale, that it actually becomes super difficult to make money in the markets, right? Even when you've got a buy signal in the stock, even when your stock is setting up exactly how you want it to see, it feels really frustrating over and over and over when the market is pushing new all-time highs. Let's take a look at that real quick. We're pushing new all-time highs right here, and yet your trades are just like hitting the fan. It's just not working right. So let's take a look at several of your trades in the chat. I'm very curious to see what you're looking at these days, and we'll go through all of our plans, right? This is where we save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. So we're going to start with Plan A, M, ETF, and sit in cash and don't F up. And of course, we need to listen to what the market is telling us. So first on Plan M, this is our most profitable plan, but nothing set up for Plan M or Plan A. So we are running Plan ETF right now. And Plan ETF has us in the QQQs if you wanted to trade the QQQs, or you could take a leveraged position in TQQQ, which is what I'm in right now. So all we got to do is pop over to QQQ, take a look at it right here, see if it's hit any of our exit points. And let's see, a sell signal in Outlier. And let's see, we've got, nope, still sitting on a buy signal, active September 5th. We've got no 10-20 bearish crosses right here, the 10 over the 20 right there. And there is an order block right here on QQQ. And that was a question that came from Jeff the El Toro. We're not going to worry about that one, right? We're not going to worry about that one because we're looking for order blocks that are at least 30 days old. If this order block was 30 days old, you can see right here, it's like 6 days old. Then we'd be looking at a different story. But this one right here, we're not even going to worry about it. We're going to let that one roll off our back. Hey, joining me is our co-host, Joe, Outlier University graduate and a profitable swing trader. Joe, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Great to be here, Chris.
Dude, Joe, on Plan ETF, which is by far our least, I would say our least stressful plan. How does it feel to know that you can get in the market and literally go touch grass for weeks on end if it happens to be that way?
It feels great. I mean, while we had some downtime doing some back testing, we kept seeing that some ETFs were rising, right? And QQQ being one of them. Having the opportunity to get into that ETF in the leveraged format and have exit signals and entry signals really helps us, right? Having a plan around that ETF as a defensive play kind of helps that whole feeling busy and not wanting to sit on your hands that some of us feel.
I get that, right? And I've seen some chatter in the Discord and around where it's like, oh, the market's pushing all-time highs and I'm sitting in cash. What a waste of time. I get that. We heard you. And that's why we came up with a comprehensive year-round plan, including Plan ETF. So let's talk about what Plan ETF's entries look like, because if you aren't in Plan ETF today, you possibly could take a trade. So let's take a look at it. Right now, we are sitting inside the Outlier value zone. Now, the value zone is 2 ATRs measured above the 20 EMA. And you don't want to take the trade when it's above that point because there's a lot of likelihood that it could bounce back into the value zone, which is exactly what I did. I waited until it came back in, and you even could have got in a couple days later. Joe, this doesn't guarantee that you're going to make any trades. It just guarantees that you're not buying it when it's like super duper extended. So let's go take a look over here. We've got an uptrend in QQQ. We have a buy signal on QQQ and then QQQ heat map. Let's take a look at it today. It is at 68.53. Now, it's less than 70, and that's all we're looking for. It doesn't matter if it's moving up, doesn't matter if it's moving down, as long as it's less than 70. It's right here in the value zone, and then 30-day old order blocks. We don't have to worry about any of those right now. So if you're not in Plan ETF today, you could get in Plan ETF today and ride that, right? Now, like I say, I'm not guaranteeing anything in any trade, but it is set up as if I were going to take it today, it would be available to trade. We've already gone over the exit signals on that. So how about we take a look at some stocks that you guys are putting in the chat? Manny asks, so no more SGov? SGov is for plan sit and cash and don't F up. Sit and cash and don't F up. And that's when we can't find anything for plan M, can't find anything for plan A, which is where we're at today. And we can't find anything for plan ETF. If we get an exit signal on plan ETF, then we need to go to plan sit and cash and don't F up. So that is very, very important, is to know when each one of these plans applies. So let's take a look at Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, our huge winner from this morning on the Big Money Bingo, he wants to look at APH. So let's go to APH real quick. And APH is, what stock is this? This is Amphenol. Joe, do you know this company? I don't know this company. Amphenol, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Right.
I was muted. I know. Rookie mistake. Yeah.
Rookie
so
mistake.
I've heard of Amphenol for sure, but
oh, yeah. You have? I have not. What is Amphenol? It's one of the world's largest designers, manufacturers, and marketers of electrical, electronic, and fiber optic connectors. Okay. Sounds like a super nerdy business, and we always need super nerdy businesses. So Mr. Bill Allen is taking a look at this one today. It's on our top 10 high growth dividend stocks from Seeking Alpha. Is there still room to run from Zacks Investment Research? What makes Amphenol a strong momentum buy right now? Dude, you got a lot of positive momentum in the news on this one. You got a buy signal. The tech sector, however, it's not really working in your favor. Now, let's take a look at the Outlier 9 before we get too deep, because we do have the trend of the market, a bullish trend on the SPY, and we do have a buy signal on the SPY. But breadth is still not there. Let's pop over into market breadth and take a look at it. Here we go. And taking a look at breadth right here, we're still continuing to see more and more sell signals. This could reverse, right? We're hitting a point where we're under 25%, 23.88%. We're hitting a point where it's getting so low, it wouldn't be too surprising to see that turn around and start seeing more and more buy signals. However, like we mentioned earlier, the SPY, it's over 70 on the fear and greed and coming down actually. But the market is a bit of a conundrum right now, right? It's super greedy. It's super near all-time highs, yet we're getting more and more sell signals. Joe, there's a bit of a discrepancy there, right? A divergence there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for your opinion as a professional trader. Have you seen this before?
Well, I mean, it can happen. And in reality, this just elevates the point of having a plan and then not FOMOing into things. Because what I think is going to happen, and I could be 100% wrong. I'll be the first to tell you, I'll be totally wrong, and I'm totally okay with that. So we might see a decent pullback. I don't know when. I don't know what the catalyst will be. But when the market continues to run and run and run, when it's fewer and fewer stocks, let's take a look at that. It's like if the market is a general and all the stocks are his soldiers, if the general's marching north and all the soldiers are marching south, at some point the general's going to get the hint, you know what? Maybe I need to turn around and go south too. Because the average fear and greed has been getting more and more fearful for a while here. But finally, S&P has peaked. S&P, the actual index itself, versus all the constituents that make up the index. And that discrepancy there, that divergence there, Rick, one of our Discord members, he pointed out, one of our clients, he's probably here as well, pointed out that it really is a concentration risk that we're looking at right here, which is why this is so greedy, yet this is getting less and less greedy, more and more fearful. And that makes me nervous, man. Concentration risk, as good as it is when you're trying to make money, if you are struggling in a market like this, that could be the reason why. Let's actually take a look at the S&P 500 map real quick.
Yeah, if we only have a few companies holding up the entire market, that's quite risky.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this, right, I went to the 1 month performance. I mean, if Apple, Google, and Tesla weren't big ballers like that, and Oracle, I think we'd have a very different market. In fact, we could look at the equal weighted RSP real quick. Oh, there you go. Equal weighted RSP. We've been sideways. So this is the S&P 500, all 500-ish stocks equal weighted instead of market cap weighted. And it's been going sideways since August 22nd. So over a month now of sideways action on the equal weighted RSP. Very interesting. So let's go back to APH for Mr. Bill Allen. And I mean, the trend, the signal, the fear and greed, and the outlier blocks on that stock in particular look outstanding. But the tech sector, the fear and greed's going down and the breadth is going down. So neither one of those are looking all that hot. Neither one of those are looking all that hot. However, you know what? Follow your plan, Mr. Bill Allen, big winner of the day, big bunny bingo winner of the day, and see and don't touch anything until you hit that exit signal. The real bane, definitely not the hammer donkey. Let's look at AES. Let's see. Over here, AES. Ah, look at that. 8 of 9. 8 of 9 on AES. So you've got, what is AES? Let's talk about that real quick. The AES Corporation. It's a Fortune 500 global power company. So it's utilities, which is not good. When you see the utilities and the staples doing well, that's bad for the market. Bad for the market. However, the utility sector getting more greedy. This stock, AES, getting more greedy. Buy signal came through. It's in a bullish uptrend. So really the breadth of the market's the only thing holding this one back. We may not find any other stock today with an 8 of 9 like AES has right there. How about Duolingo? Joe, do you use Duolingo?
I do not, but I have a family member that does. Yeah, very active with it.
Dude, Duolingo's cool. Let me see what my streak is at right now. Very proud of my streak. I'll never let this streak die.
Oh, that is a lot.
894 days.
Wow.
What's up, Joe? I know. In your face, Joe.
Yeah, there's a lot of red on our screen, though.
Yeah, this looks like total donkey doo-doo. If I were the Duolingo owl, I would be scared to death of this stock. Can you imagine why? It looks like you got order blocks stacked on top of order blocks all the way down. Does have a buy signal. Is getting less fearful, but bro, that trend has been brutal for a while, but it's reversed. It's reversed. The stock itself, it's got at least 2% to run on the order block, so that's good. This is the tech sector. Again, not going to help it so much. So here's the deal. If I were trading Duolingo, which I wouldn't buy this with your money. If I were trading Duolingo, I would keep a really, really, really tight stop on this. And listen, it could totally surprise everybody. It could totally surprise everybody and just run. Is there any news driving all this, right? 3 growth stocks down 40% to buy right now. Oh, geez, I don't know about that. When you see a stock down 40%, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a great buy. It could go down another 40%, Joe.
Yeah, you'd really want to see some moving averages do a cross before you'd get in.
That's right. Every time I watch an Outlier episode, I still learn something. Well, thanks, Peter. Glad to help out with that, my friend. Connie asks, in Plan ETF, are we buying and selling TQQQ at the market? That's a great question. So I am a huge believer of limit orders on options because option spreads are not as tight as a buy and sell spread on a stock. If you're buying a stock like TQQQ, which has millions and millions of shares traded daily, and you're just buying the shares, of course, I did market orders. There's very, very, very unlikely you're going to give up more than a couple pennies. And that's just part of the game. You might, it might say $100.17 and you do a market order and you get filled $100.16, $100.19, something like that. Either way, market orders when you're buying shares and it's super, super, super liquid like that shouldn't have any issues at all. MTS, have you decided how you're going to treat TQQQ in the performance spreadsheet? No, I haven't yet. I got to thinking about that earlier today when I was on my way to the gym, in fact, because I don't want to add it as its own trade because it will absolutely throw off my actual trades and Plan M and ETF. I'm sorry, Plan M and Plan A, those metrics, right? Because like if I have a average winner of 40% on Plan M and average loser of 20% on Plan M, and then I come in and I throw Plan ETF in there and I have like a 2% winner and a 1% loser, right? That throws things off. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I'll probably have a line in there where it goes into the total gains and total losses to create your percentage gains, but it doesn't go into the calculation for your average gain and average loss. That's most likely what I'm going to do, but still trying to figure that out yet. Antonio, I've heard a lot of rumors that QQQ3 fits into the plan. but I can't confirm nor deny. Right? I can neither. I plead the fifth on that one. I don't know enough about it. Uncle Bluto says, I found a list of stocks that hit all-time highs. Check them in Outlier. 8 of 9 are green. Then he bought them on paper trading. He had to do something. Joe, what do I normally say about a stock that hits all-time highs? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's going in the right direction. We want the price to go up. All-time high means it's going up.
Interesting. I remember specifically a point in time where, and this is one of the reasons I say never, ever sell options. I was taking my son to the library, or going through all the little kids section, and I saw QQQs were hitting all-time highs, and I was like, I'm a brilliant option seller. I'm going to sell calls against that. Joe, from the moment that I put that on until the moment that it was an absolute destructive loser in my account, not once did it work for me. Not at all. It was like I just took money and set it on fire.
And I appreciate you passing on that knowledge so I can learn that lesson from you, not with you.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. Just think about it emotionally, right? If you are buying a stock and it's at new all-time highs, that means literally every person in the history of time who's ever bought the stock and is still holding it, they're happy. There's nobody sitting up ahead waiting to say, okay, once I get back to break even, I am out of here, which is a huge investor psychology thing. And there's no order blocks in your way. Exactly. Let's take a look at GLD for Cody. Let's take a look at GLD. Now, I know we covered GLD inside of Outlier, but I don't know what constitutes the constituents of GLD. As a very honest thing, I do not know what goes into the constituents. Oh, it's the S&P 500. That's what it's measuring. Okay, look at that. We learned something together. It'll tell you right there. It'll tell you what sector it is and everything. So it's just showing the S&P 500 down here. GLD, buy signal on August 26th on gold. In fact, hang on. I want to measure this out. GLD. Holy moly. Let me clear my notes here. This is what a big, beautiful trend looks like, Joe. August 26th. Boom, right there. Your 10 was over the 20. Price was over the 50. Now, it did have an old order block right there. Right? There were people who were waiting to get back. Because, I mean, look at how many times that order block was hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5. The sixth time, it finally had enough buyers to overwhelm the sellers right here. And then it took off like crazy. Gangbusters right there. And now the greed is up at 89.12. So growing hot and fast on GLD. Look at that. Huge new movements, new all-time highs. Let's go to GC, the actual gold contract, real quick. Curious what the price is. 38.54. That is bonkers. So I remember last time I looked at gold, not all that long ago, it was like 2,600. Now we're at 3,800. And people love them some shiny stuff, right? I need to get a new gold watch. That's what I need to do.
There you go.
Joe, listen, if somebody was interested in, I don't know, saving time, making money, and starting to win with less risk, what do you think they should do?
They click one of these videos right here in the corner above our heads.
The one that's covering up our face right now?
That's right.
That's a brilliant idea, Joe. Click one of those videos and have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon.